All right, thanks. Good to know. So, I want to look at Bitcoin. I'm going to just have a quick session here. Um, on the daily time frame, there's something kind of important to notice is that these high time frame bull divs play out, and Bitcoin's been in an uptrend, and these dips are often the time to get in for a long, but it's not to say that that's going to play out bullishly. It can reverse at any time, but if it was going to go bullish right now would be a great time to be looking for a long, and that's just my opinion. But even though I'm leaning towards the bull market ending or a dip coming soon, I'll show you what I mean. But as of now, I think any time we can have a continuation to this uptrend. And this is like a hidden bull div. I talk about these often, but I just wanted to kind of explain it for some of the people I don't see in here often. But on hidden bull divs, it's a continuation divergence. And when you see this at the lows having a lower low on the oscillator, but a higher low on the price, you're going to have like a continuation usually, unless it invalidates and price goes below this area here. So that would be here for this next one, but this is on a daily time frame, so it takes time. And you're seeing the same thing happen here. And I'll show you on this recent one, and let's just get rid of these because this is recorded and you guys can check it on my YouTube channel afterwards if you want to examine it a little more. But you want to measure from the low on the price and then the low on the oscillator at the same spot. So the low on the price here, not including the wicks of the candles, is a higher low here on the price and then a lower low on the oscillator. So that's what happened here when this one went down and it went up here with the higher low. It didn't play out immediately. It had like a little bump and then went a little lower maybe for liquidity, and then it went up for quite a while. So you're having a similar thing here. It's possible that it could happen that it does a similar thing, that it goes up again. I mean, it even looks the same on TDIX pretty much, or very close to it when I look at it. When you have that hidden bull confirmed here, price went up, but the Bollinger Band was kind of low, and it came back down and bounced on this right here. And it was a trick on this one, and then it dipped just a little more and put in an RSI divergence right here, and then it went. But you're having a similar thing here. So you've got a hidden bull div on the money flow. It's confirmed. And there's also an RSI hidden bull right here too, if you measure the bottom of this RSI to this one at that low. But if price comes down a little bit lower than this candle body, if it comes down to here, it's just going to confirm an RSI div, because then you're going to have a higher RSI but a slightly lower low on price. Now it's hard to tell what it's going to do right now because it's already had a bump. It could just keep going. And there's a key level here that I wanted to point out, but as you might have seen in some of my updates, there's a nice trend line here where it looked like it was going to break out. You had a reaction to the trend line looking bullish, but then it failed. There was the monthly pivot here, the Trend X pivot, rejected it and pushed it down. And instead of having a retap on this trend line and then going up again, it went under it, and then it got up again. But what I found is during this, a new key level just kind of revealed itself. And you'll see it on the lower time frames, like the 4-hour. It's really clear. So this is a flip level where price is interacting here and a couple times here, a little bit here, here, and look, it's reacting with it and getting above it, but then it failed again. So this is a new weekly pivot that came out, and it went up above it and above the daily pivot, but rejected on the R2. Almost made it to the R3 on the daily, but I think that's actually, yeah, that's the R1 on the weekly narrow. But it's possible that this is a retest of this, and it may bounce from here. I mean, a lot of times these fast moves are fake moves, but we're not sure. We want to see a confirmation above this purple zone here. And then you've got these trend X lines. But if it gets above here and taps it again but doesn't go below it, it could be a recheck and a bounce. There is a fair value gap down here, so there's a possibility, it may want to come down here. If price goes below this, I'd say 74K region, if it goes below there, it will create a lower low, and that would be pretty bad. But it does have the hidden bull, and that's also on the 3-day too. So it's on the daily and on a 3-day. And look at that, when the oscillator is so much lower than the previous low on the oscillator, but price is higher. So this is a very strong hidden bullish divergence, and it's had some time to stay here and show that it doesn't want to go down. It's putting in some nice wicks. It had a bounce. This is a monthly opposing level, this green line, and it wicked on it with the dragonfly doji. So that's a good sign. This is a really good sign. This key level here is strong, and when price gets above it again, I think we'll have a move up. That's my opinion. Of course, you want to wait for this fast MA on these higher time frames to cross, especially the 3-day, because you see what happened here when it crossed right here. It went up. So at that point, when it starts to cross or confirms one candle above it, I'll be looking for longs. I may even look for longs sooner, because I've seen this so many times, and it's such a solid signal. It seems to me that like hidden divergence continuations tend to be pretty good. They almost seem more accurate than reversal divergences, because sometimes divergences will stack before they play out, before price finds a fair value. So watch for that. It's definitely worth checking your TDIX. But like when you look at the fifth, this is really interesting, and I'm going to hide some other stuff here just to show you something I noticed that I wanted to share, and I'll get rid of some of this junk. Whenever price has interacted with this purple area, this flip zone, on lower time frames, there generally spikes. Well, not here. There was a nice spike here at this opposing level, but there's higher volume at this line. Like right here, it's a little higher. Right here, it's a little higher, and so on. So it just keeps, something's going on here at this key level, this purple area. So watch it. It's between 88.4 and 89 even. So if you see price get above this, and then the volume really climbs and gets more sustained higher volume, it's possible the breakout's confirming. Watch this 4-hour fair value gap too, because that's a strong possibility if it's going to go up and continue to go up. So that's the main thing I'm waiting for. I've seen Bitcoin go down for I don't know how long now. It's been a while, and I think there's going to be some sort of bounce. Whether it's a dead cat bounce or not remains to be seen. But eventually it's going to have some sort of move up, even if it's just to have a bearish retest. So I did want to mention that too. I've noticed that there's a possible head and shoulders on the daily. It hasn't confirmed a right shoulder yet. It hasn't even formed the right shoulder, but you do have, you know, a left shoulder ahead, and the possibility of a right shoulder right at a key level. So it'd probably look a little more prominent on like the 3-day, but I expect a pump because of the bull div, and I don't know if it's going to make it through this strong resistance up here. I don't really think it will. It might, but it feels like, you know, like a lot of the hype for the bull run is starting to die out, and people are curious, you know, is it over? Is the bear market going to happen? Are we going to have a super cycle? There's a lot of uncertainty. It's that time of the season when, you know, the typical Bitcoin cycle starts to shift. So, yeah, watch this, especially 108K and to 111. There's something else I wanted to show. This is just the volume profile, and let's get this trend lines. Get these trend lines out of here. All right, so when you look at it on a higher time frame and you look at volume, there's a large, it's possible it's a large range, and it's starting to, that was a deviation out of the range. And this is like when you pull your fixed range volume profile from this area, because this would have been its own range here. You know, this is possible that it's forming a long-term range. You could make this a range, this one, and you know, you can do it like that. But sometimes bigger ranges form, and it's possible, I would say, that maybe 115's on the table, because if price gets above this green line, this is the value area low. If price gets above that, you know, there's this here's the point of control in the middle of this white line. There's a strong possibility it'll make it up here, and that could be the right shoulder as well. It might not make it up that far, but I'm definitely leaning that it's going to, because it's just held this low here for quite a while. It may come down and take this liquidity here. It might. I should mark that on there so I have it. But want to watch for stuff like this. That's a little low, but as long as it doesn't break 74K, it's not a lower low. So this could be, you know, a continuation. And because it's spent so much time here, I'm leaning that way, that it's this bull div is going to play out. But yeah, so this key level has confluence with the value area low here. That could be why that key level has appeared. So there's the value area low, and if price gets accepted back into this volume range, then, you know, it could go. So watch this area. We're at it right now. Let's do the 4. And it's looking like it wants to go, but it could reject here, because this is what we want to see here in the next 46 minutes. We want to see if price gets above, because if it does get above and this creates a bounce, if it goes something like this, and, you know, if that happens, that would be very bullish. But if it crosses below this, because this will be the money flow line. Whoops, that's a terrible line. But if it holds this and bounces up, that could be bullish. But it's came down pretty sharp, so there's a good possibility it's going to reject here. But that's, you know, that's what you'll see sometimes. I'll try to find an example. I think I've showed this so many times. But when you see price, sometimes it'll hit that line and then it'll bounce on it. Like here, it hit it, almost hit it, and then went up. It wouldn't go below because that line is the cross between being above is bullish and below is bearish. Like here, it went under the line and then it rejected and then kept going down. So right here, now that it was above, still technically above until this candle closes, this line here, you see the cross, that line can reprint and then just kind of go back up and then just have a bottom right here above it. So that's what you want to watch, I'd say, in the next hour, what this price does here at this key level, which is also the value area low. Keep that in mind. There isn't a lot of liquidity in the markets right now. You can trade it, but I would stick to trading stuff that other people are trading. You know, check your, let's see here, I'm going to switch to EAX. Check your EAX. Let's see if it shows it. Should be able to see it. So check for other things. You know, use your EAX. You can use other tools to find out, you know, what's ready to have a move. Because typically when things are really overbought or oversold, there's more eyes on them, more people looking for a trade, more liquidity in that asset. It moves better. It might be slightly more predictable and easier to trade. And I think that's exactly why that Easy Algo made this tool, because half of the battle is finding what to trade. You want to find stuff that's at a key level, stuff that is really overbought or oversold, getting ready for a reversal or showing signs of a continuation. So check your EAX, and yeah, when you trade, be careful because of Bitcoin being at this this zone. So that didn't take as long as I thought. It's been 16 minutes roughly. So I can do a little bit. I can look at some other things. I'm going to pull up the charts again. And since I have a little more time, I'm going to try to you're welcome, Cat Monkey. I'll try to look at like a couple coins, but I'm going to end it here in about 40 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes, because I've got some stuff I've got to do. But with that being said, watch Bitcoin, because it is at a critical point, like it usually is. There's always some key level that it's at that you always have to watch. But this one here is the area. And if it starts getting above here, it's bullish. And it's, you know, it's possible that this can reprint as the price goes up. And when the candle closes, it will be solidified at that, you know, whatever it did. So what I wanted to mention this too. See how it's kind of been, it consolidated under that area, but it did kind of fail to hold above. So it's not really confirming anything bullish yet. I'm leaning bullish because of the bull divs, but when you look at Trendex, you know, it's in a zone where if it falls below, let's just say this current candle wick on the 4 hour, that would be below the middle line of the pivot of the weekly, and it's already, well, the daily pivot is about to come out. But if it starts going below this weekly pivot, if it goes below 87,777, if it goes below this midline on the weekly, it's probably going to at least this fair value gap or lower. And we'll just have to wait and see. So watch your Trendex. I mean, it's hard to tell because the pivots are about to come out here soon. Yeah, there's definitely that fair value gap. When it had that move up, there's a pretty strong fair value gap here. But, you know, when it gets filled, we don't know. It could have been that this was just filling this other fair value gap, and then it could go down. It might be that. I don't know. But I'm leaning bullish because it hasn't kept going lower yet. I mean, it may come down for some liquidity. It may come for the fair value gap. Just watch. You know, if it goes below 70, let me just show you on here on the daily. Going below this area would invalidate the bull div. So that is one of the other things you want to watch for. So that purple line is the line in the sand. So it's holding. This is typical of a continuation divergence, a hidden bull div, that it will hover above the invalidation line and then not invalidate, and then it plays out. Take a fib from the recent local bottom and the recent local high. Where's the 50? On which time frame, Shu? Oh, I see. Yeah, let's take a look. That's a really good idea. I think I pulled this before, and I think it's right around the 886. I'll pull it from the second one. Yeah, that liquidity would be at the 886, and it could, you know, it could, to be fair, take that liquidity and still not invalidate the bull div. So it could come down here. But if it starts getting closer and closer than this, I wouldn't be bullish at all. As long as it stays above it, and really above the 886, if it stays above 80K, that's good for possible bullish continuation. But it's hard to tell right now. It has rejected that monthly, and that's, you know, let's get rid of this. It's a lot of lines. That's like 2 rejections on the monthly. And that's not exactly a wide monthly either. It's kind of slightly narrow almost. Yeah, hey Alan, you can talk. You know what? I've done my my general market update, but like I said, I don't know if you read it. I will be cutting this one short, and here soon. I'm probably gonna go in like 15 minutes or so. So you can keep on keeping on in here if you like, but I wanted to give that Bitcoin update, and what I'm gonna do now is stop my recording, and then I'll upload it to YouTube here soon, and in a little bit. But we can chat for a little bit, and then I'll just go when I gotta go, and then you guys can chill in here and talk and stuff. And yeah, so I'm gonna for everybody that's watching a recording, thanks for watching.